Magic Leap 1 promises true light-filled AR in a sleek, wearable package. Either we have finally reached the future of spatial computing, or we are about to pay for a beautiful, expensive science project. On paper, it sounds wild. A waveguide display with multiple depth planes around a 50-degree-ish diagonal field of view, 6 DUF head and controller tracking, eye tracking, spatial audio, 8 GB of RAM with 128 GB storage, and a hip-mounted light pack that keeps the headset light. But here is the thing, specs only tell half the story and marketing tells the other half a little too loudly. Here is what caught my attention after living with it. I actually wore this for 10 days across work sessions, a dev test setup, and everyday use. I have put the direct link to check current pricing in the description, but before you click anything, let me show you what I discovered after 10 days of testing. Let's set expectations. Magic Leap 1 claims to blend digital objects into your world at comfortable focal depths with stable tracking and natural interaction. According to the pitch, you get convincing 3D holograms that anchor to your environment, multiple focal planes for more natural focus and less eye strain, a lightweight visor with an off-board compute pack for comfort, a controller and gestures that feel intuitive and precise. Sounds dreamy, right? Especially if you remember the hype. But here is where things get interesting. Reality check. They claim a true light-filled experience. What you actually get is 2 discrete focal planes, not a continuous light field. Here is why that matters. Your eyes constantly adjust focus smoothly in the real world. With only 2 planes, anything closer or farther than those planes forces your eyes to converge without changing focus appropriately. That is the classic Vergence accommodation conflict. The result, some scenes look great, others feel slightly off, especially with small text or objects hovering at the wrong distance. Reality check. This is impressive optics but not a full light field. They claim a wide, immersive field of view. What you actually get is a window that feels more like peeking through a visor than bathing in holograms. The diagonal faux V hovers around the 50-degree mark, which is better than the earliest AR headsets but still narrow enough that objects pop in and out as you look around. Here is where it gets mathematically impossible. Your natural human visual field is over 180 degrees horizontal. No waveguide headset in this class comes close. Translation: you compose AR moments rather than live in them. They claim comfort thanks to the light pack offloading weights. What you actually get is decent front balance but a cable to your hip and a compute puck that gets warm under load. After 90 minutes, I noticed light heat on the pack and a bit of nose bridge pressure. Battery life: in my mixed use with spatial apps and dev tools, I averaged 2 to 2.5 hours. 3 hours is optimistic unless you are running lighter DMOS. They claim natural interaction. The controller tracking feels fine in open spaces, but here is the plot twist. Its tracking can get finicky near metal furniture or crowded RF environments. Hand gestures exist but are limited. You will spend most of your time with the controller. Compared to modern hand tracking systems, it feels a generation behind. And the big one, ecosystem. They sold this as a new computing platform. What you actually get in 2026 is a largely discontinued product with a shuttered app store and halted updates. Reality check: official consumer support for Magic Leap 1 ended years ago. Apps require sideloading via developer tools and many experiences are no longer maintained. If you expect a thriving AR app library, you will be disappointed. That is not switching platforms, that is expensive confusion. Here is where things get interesting again. The optics clarity in the sweet spot is genuinely good and spatial audio is surprisingly immersive. If you are a tinkerer, you can still build and sideload DMOS. But wait, there is more. The NVIDIA-based light pack simply cannot push modern-level AR fidelity. Frame rates are fine for DMOS, but complex scenes demand compromises in lighting, polygon counts, and shader complexity. This is 2018-era hardware trying to stand in a 2026 arena. Detailed breakdown. Visual fidelity: text legibility is solid at medium sizes, very small UI elements fall apart. Brightness is enough for indoor use, but direct sunlight or bright office windows wash out the image. Expect subtle color fringing at the edges of the waveguide and the usual AR trade-off. Darker environments make holograms pop but reduce the natural feel. Tracking and input. Head tracking is stable when the environment has features. The controller is fine for pointing and clicking but less reliable for precision tasks or near metal objects. Eye tracking helps with IPD and some UI focus, but you will not get the magical gaze select feeling like newer systems have refined. Battery and thermals. In my tests, 2.5 hours per charge doing a mix of spatial visualization, a web-based AR viewer, and dev tools. The light pack warms under load but did not throttle in short bursts. Extended sessions can see minor performance dips. Charging to full takes over an hour, the battery is not user replaceable. Build quality and comfort. Premium materials, clever cable routing, and a design that still looks futuristic. However, after longer sessions, forehead and nose pressure creep in. Audio is open-ear and pleasant, but it leaks. Everyone around you can hear. Ecosystem and support. Here is what nobody tells you if you are finding this on a marketplace. Magic Leap One's official store and consumer updates were sunset years ago. You will rely on archived apps, community tools, and sideloading. That means fewer polished experiences and more tinkering. Multiple review threads and dev forums echo the same sentiment: beautiful hardware, stranded ecosystem. Verdict: buy with caution and only if you know exactly what you are getting into. Pros: still impressive optics in the sweet spot, comfortable enough for short sessions, premium build, fun for prototyping and AR research. Cons: discontinued ecosystem, narrow faux V by 2026 standards, aging performance, limited battery life, and a controller that feels dated. Pricing varies wildly depending on used or new old stock. Value is only there for collectors, devs, or educators willing to sideload and experiment. If you want a daily driver AR experience, save your money for current-gen devices or even a solid VR headset with high-quality pass-through. For anyone else, skip this unless the goal is learning and tinkering. Stay savage out there. Thanks for watching. If this review saved you from wasting money or helped you find something actually worth buying, I have put the link to check current pricing and read more reviews in the description. And hey, if you do decide to buy through my link, it helps fund these investigations without costing you extra. Drop your questions below and tell me which AR or mixed reality headset you want to see tested next. I have a head-to-head coming that compares modern pass-through against optical waveguides. See you in the next one. Stay savage and shop smart.